Welcome back. Return of the Mac. M.A.C. Moss, Andrew, Carl. Back in the building for episode 182.
What's up? What's good?
What's happening?
Shit.
Post Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, honestly.
It's supposed to be a beautiful day. I'm supposed to have this day off. I take this day off every single year.
It's a holiday.
I couldn't do it this year, and it sucked. It sucked,
really?
Not even like I stayed up crazy late. Like the game is relatively early for a late football game.
But it's a lot of shit that goes on. It still ended. Like it was like 11 o'clock when the game.
Yeah, it was about 11 when I got home.
Yeah, so
I'm about right.
It's still pretty late though.
Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. Anything from this week?
No, man, just catching up on shows and shit. You started up on Netflix, so
You started that.
yeah, I'm locked into season 4.
You watched the first episode. I watched the first episode. How you feel about it?
Y'all don't
I'm like 2 episodes in.
Carl's a spoiler.
Am I?
Yeah, I ain't talking about it.
Everyone here be talking like, it was all right.
I don't want to
Kill
give
the dude in the
anything
first
away.
5 seconds.
But
Stuff like that.
to me, it seems pretty good so far. I'm interested to see what's going on. It's throwing me for a loop right now. It's a little like mystery clue type of deal.
I don't like it.
You don't like that?
It's gonna turn into a who did it. It's a who
you
did
don't
it
like
show
that?
now.
I like that, man. It's cool, and then it's like,
But they changing the whole
I like the mystery.
thrill of the show though.
How far in are you?
I just watched the first episode.
Oh, all right.
Well, yeah, you don't know, bro.
But that's the setup though.
knows?
You can tell that the rest of the season gonna be like figuring out who did it. That's what the whole first episode setup was. You never watched you.
No, this episode. I haven't seen this episode.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
It's basically making like the premise of the show ain't going to be just about him and who he killed and shit like that. Like,
But it's never been that though. It's always been like a.
What you mean? It's been about him killing motherfuckers, bro.
I mean, it is just about him, but it's always like another character that it's about as well. Like Love was a huge. She narrated a couple shows, like so. It's not always like.
No, well, there's other characters, but like if he's saying that they're leaving it out in the open, like who killed the person or whatever, that would never be something that they've done so far.
Yeah, that's not how.
Yeah, I mean that's the point of it being
We always knew who the killer was. It was fucking him.
Right, but I'm saying, this girl whacked a couple people too. But I mean, that's the point of it being season 4. It's like we're not gonna keep on doing the same shit. We're giving you something different now. Like,
yeah,
that's what
season
shows
4 of the
fuck up
show.
though. When they try to mix it up, let's mix it up this season. That's when they start fucking
I'm
it
sure
up.
he's gonna catch a body or something like that eventually. That's what he does. But
I would be surprised if they did that the whole season. But I haven't seen the episode, so I don't.
Well, I mean, it's cool because now he's trying to find who that person is who committed the murder. Now, like
that's what he about to be obsessed with, figuring out who killed this person. It's like,
but it still is like the same. His obsession is like what. The show is
right. That's what it drives. It's like
but it's been his obsession with a girl though. It's always been a girl that he's been obsessed with.
It might be a girl. I bet it's a girl.
Yeah, there's no way there's not.
Yeah, it's gonna be a girl. Bro.
I would be interested. I like the show. I think they've done a good job, at least up until now. So I expect that this season would be.
Yeah,
decent.
it's the fucking if Dexter had a little brother. It's pretty much.
Yeah,
but you got to call it at some point.
Definitely.
There's no way he's just getting away with all these fucking murders, just traveling to a different country and shit. How long can you keep that shit up?
That's true.
Well, I mean, people think he dead right now, so hey, it's a good show.
Not everybody.
I also watched the Hulu docuseries Stolen Youth.
That's Pam.
What is that?
Pam Anderson?
That's on Netflix.
No.
What is Stolen
Pam
Youth?
Anderson. No, it's about a cult that started on some college campus with one of the students' dads who got out of jail and came to stay in their dorm room and shit. And he pretty much started a cult with like a group of students, and they didn't even know they was in a fucking cult. But it's a wild. He got it's like a sex cult or something like that they called it. It's a wild thing. I watched that. It's like 3 episodes, but it's really, really interesting to see how like people can be. I think it's so fascinating how easily people can be manipulated and not even like be aware of the shit. And it's not like they're all like dum-dums, you know. You'd think only stupid people would join some shit like that and not be aware of it or let somebody, like one person, control everything they do, like when you eat and sleep and you just listening to everything they say like it's the fucking gospel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird to me that people can fall in line with something like that.
Why is that so weird to you? You big conspiracy guy. Like, everything you talk about is people falling in line with shit that goes on.
No, I mean, I get, but I'm just saying it's so weird. This is like an average dude who can convince people.
Of course, it's like an extreme with a cult.
I can get why you would do it if it was like some actual benefit to your lifestyle and, you know, all of this stuff. But these people, there's no benefit to their life. It's just you're, you know, really one of these, like, you're just one of this person's follower. And you just do whatever they say, and they're God to you. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit.
That is a benefit to their lifestyle. That's how you get people in, making them feel like you need this or you need them.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Like he was like giving them counseling to like become successful professionals, but it's like this motherfucker just got out of jail. Like, what the fuck do you think is happening? One of the girls was like a Harvard graduate. And somehow she got manipulated and was like fucking a dude and shit. I mean, I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
It certainly is weird, and I always like those documentaries too. I think they're super fascinating. But yeah, I think like most of it is like based off of people that don't have
purpose, people
in their life, or purpose is a good one too. But it's like acceptance into something, so they just feel like. A lot of times there's like a family element to it where they feel like this is a part of a group that actually cares about me when they feel like they don't have that in their regular life or whatever.
That's the
and also
weird thing.
Having fucking, you said the girl went to Harvard. Having book smart does not mean you have common sense.
Well, yeah, no doubt. But her whole family was in it. Her brother and her other sister was in it too. Like her brother started it and it kind of invited the other two down the line. So it was weird. Like they had a mother and father and I guess some sense of family, but it was just weird.
There's usually like no sense of self-value.
Maybe.
I forget what the other documentary was. There was another one. I mean, it's just going to sound like every other cult, so I don't even know how to explain it, but it was like seemed like it was like a self-improvement type of thing. And then the leader was just sleeping with like every single person.
Nexium, whatever.
Yeah, that's what it was. And it was like the mother brought the daughter to the conference or whatever, and then she was brought into it. It is
that was much crazy. Bigger than this. Is like really a small cult, the one that this is centered around. But it's just weird because it's like, man, how can this 50-year-old dude like convince? I mean, I get that, you know, they're young kids or college students, but still you would think you have more common sense to say, hey, this guy just got out of jail. I'm going to do the opposite of whatever the fuck he was doing, regardless of what he's talking about. Like,
yeah.
This is weird shit though.
It is weird.
Yeah. But I mean, you should check that out. It's called, Stolen Youth.
Yeah, I might watch
on Hulu.
I might watch that. I think I'm going to save you for when I go on this trip. Because it's just easy to download stuff off of Netflix on my phone to watch on the plane. Yeah. So I'll probably end up watching that on the plane, but I might check this out in the meantime.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. You definitely should, bro. Definitely should.
Cool.
What about you?
Same old shit, bro. It's work. Catching up on shows.
You watching
football, watching basketball.
You watch anything good or
the same shows I've been talking about? BMF, Mary Kingstown, Your Honor. It's the shows I'm on right now. Pretty good. Pretty good so far.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. I'm watching YouTube, so.
Yeah.
YouTube vibes.
Nothing really worth telling.
What's on YouTube? Just like
everything.
Randomness of
I
YouTube?
watch a ton of Barstool stuff on YouTube. And then this other I've been watching this streamer for real. I'm going to turn in one of these people.
The what? The
streamers that are like streaming for 8 hours. I just like turn it on in the background while I'm playing video games and stuff. Like
I can never get into watching people stream.
It's not even like I'm not even watching. I guess he does play a video game in the background, but it's probably even more boring than people that just watch other people stream video games. Like he'll be having debates and stuff with people. There's like regular group of people that come on and talk to him, so I kind of know them now that I've been watching the stream for a while. But like a lot of stuff is like philosophical debates, politics, stuff like that. I'm a real nerd now.
Yeah.
Real extra nerd.
Embrace that shit, bro.
I enjoy it. I don't care.
Embrace it, yeah.
As long as it's fun to watch.
Open arms, that's what I like to say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Into the nerd community? Yeah. Are you saying you're a part of it already?
I mean, I'm
not like a Dragon Ball Z nerd or anything.
Bro, I'm not shy of any of my nerdiness. Like, I don't give a fuck about it.
I don't care either.
Yeah.
I think we're old enough
Y'all
at
having a
this
moment
point.
right now?
Yeah, it might be.
Is that what y'all doing?
I think we're old enough now. It's like I don't care if you think what I like is stupid.
Yeah.
No, this is what I'm about to watch.
It is what it is. This is what the fuck I like, and I'm into the shit.
Yeah, I think as long as
I'm
you,
into it 100%.
as long as you keep some sports around, it's okay.
Yeah, right.
Supposed to balance it out.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I can still put some shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
I can still build some shit. What
you
you
know
want
what I'm
to do?
saying? I
Can't do that.
can still lift some shit up or something around this motherfucker, but
I be playing 2K.
I do like Naruto, you know, shit like that. I'm gonna watch that motherfucker. I'm sorry. So yeah, I mean, embrace it. You know, I'm a Harry Potter fan, no doubt. I like the fucking.
I want to play that video game.
That shit looks lit.
It looks
motherfucker.
crazy realistic.
I mean, yeah, the graphics are stupid.
I think I would
You
buy
like Harry
it.
Potter too?
Huh?
You like Harry Potter too?
Not really. I've seen like the first 4 or 5 movies, and every time I stop there. And then when I go to watch them again, I'm like, I don't remember this shit. I'll start at the beginning and watch the first 4 and then fall off again. So I've never seen the ending of it.
How you like Harry Potter, but you can't fuck with Game of Thrones? It seems like it would be an easy transition. I ain't never watched Harry Potter, so I'm not into the Harry
So
Potter.
I'll say Harry Potter
You gotta
is
get hip, man.
Harry Potter is outside of my realm of what I would usually like. I don't usually like the make believe, imagination, fantasy stuff. But it's like relatively easy watch.
Right.
Game of Thrones, I gotta sit here and actually watch and do that and nothing else. And it just seems like too much for me.
I got
So you can kind of casually watch Harry Potter. And it probably helps that, like, I read the first couple of Harry Potter
You know what
books
the
when I
fuck's
was like in
happening.
elementary school.
Right, you know what's going on.
Yeah, I know at least the first 3 books of the story from like when I read it as a kid.
See, I've been on the nerd vibe for a long time.
A little bit.
For sure.
I read as a kid.
Read as a kid.
Parents made me
Look
read.
at you reading books and shit.
See, that's what I hated, bro. It's like people in the neighborhood made you feel like you was like inferior for reading books and shit.
You doing all them books.
You be like,
This shit out your
look at
hand.
this nigga read. Look at Carl reading books and shit. Carl reading books. You like, yo, damn, bro.
They hit you on the name and the book.
Yeah, name in the books. Let me wear a sweater and be reading the book. I'd be like, oh, Carl wearing a sweater, reading the book and shit.
Carlton Word.
Yeah. I got that a lot, Carlton. Like, that's not my fucking name, bitch. But
I was just mad that it's like an easy transition. Why somebody
that's
think
not
your
my
name is
fucking
Carlton?
name, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be like being Tim and I'm not Timothy. My name is not Timothy. Don't fucking call me that. But it's a derivative of the name.
Nah, but I do that with Andy. We're not doing that. It's not Andy, bro.
I mean, I get it.
You go Drew, you go Andrew.
We used to go by the shorter version of it.
That
think
makes
that
sense.
comes from the, you know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. Yeah, so if I was going by Andy, they call me Andrew.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
But yeah, But anyway, whatever.
Yeah, well, whatever, yeah.
Interesting topics here. Good stuff.
For sure. Embracing your nerdiness is,
Embrace the nerd.
I don't even know what we was talking about, shows and shit.
We were shows. I think we're all done with that, though. Let's get to the game.
let's get
Get
to
to
it.
the big night.
What number is it?
Let's do it.
Super Bowl 57, I
57?
believe.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's a big one. A lot of history made.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
What was all the history made?
2 black quarterbacks. Octopus.
We still doing that.
I mean, I know we talked about it last week, but I mean, this is the first time ever.
Is this true? Is this true? 3 touchdowns. One person was the record, wasn't it?
4 touchdowns, 1 person.
What?
Hurts had 4.
Hurts ran for 4
Ran
touchdowns.
Jesus
ran
Christ.
3.
I mean, no, he
one.
ran for 3 touchdowns.
threw one.
He
Okay.
threw 1.
But
Yeah.
3 rushing was a record too, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right.
It was.
Yeah, that was
I'm sure it was.
a record. I think 2 was actually the record. And then, he, you know what I'm saying?
Shattered it.
He just had another quarterback sneak. And that's what it was. I mean, the one that they schemed it up where he ran it in.
That was the octopus. First time in Super Bowl history. Well, the same
Was
player
that?
scores a touchdown and scores a 2-book version on the same drive.
Why do they call it octopus?
I don't know why they named it that, but that's
either.
the name of it.
What is that? I've never heard of this term before.
I hit the bet, so I'm happy about that.
8. Touchdown
Oh,
and
it's 8
2-point
points.
conversion.
It's 8
Yeah,
points.
I just realized that too.
Makes
But
sense.
I was asking the same thing. I only heard about it because of betting. I knew it was something that people were like talking about putting money
Yeah,
on.
the other one is a scoregami. Would it be a score that's never happened in the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a great game though.
Fantastic game.
If you just are looking at the actual game, once you get to gambling, it's hard to only think about the game.
Right.
Kind of like tied into how well did my bets do is how good of a game it was. But like if you take the bets out of it, you can't ask for a much better Super Bowl.
I mean, even at the same time, if you was betting on this game, a high scoring game on both sides is what you want.
Yeah, that's true.
You want a lot of fucking good drives, a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. So I mean, I guess it depends on what you bet on.
This is true. This is true. Speaking of betting, though, we never even settled on what our tiebreaker was.
Yeah, I realized that like halfway through the game, we're like, oh, we didn't even pick anything.
Didn't
we?
We said rap battle. Remember?
Oh, that is true.
Oh, okay.
Bring your balls.
Ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go first.
All right. Yeah.
I am white. I am a fucking bum.
I am a fucking nerd. I do like Harry Potter.
We'll figure something else though.
Yeah, it don't matter. Yeah, whatever.
Or we can call it off.
Yeah.
Or we can pick like a random NBA game or something. I really don't care.
USFL.
All right, that's not.
We gotta pick a USFL game.
Who can read the most books next week?
I'm gonna beat you on that.
We'll figure something out. We don't need to take up any more time. Back to the game, though.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the game? General takeaways, anything that stood out extra strong?
About the last 5 minutes.
It was a great game.
We'll start to about the last drive.
Why is that?
Fire game.
Why is that?
I mean, because having that firepower shootout happen, and everybody wanted the overtime. So for it to end with you running out the clock at the end, it's kind of like, let down for a finish. But good game all around.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like it takes off some of the climax, but it's like that's football. It's like, man, we're making the smart plays out here to
sure. They did what they were supposed to do.
Secure victory. So hey, I have no issue with it. I mean, that's what I expected them to do. So it didn't surprise me once they got into that situation.
Jalen was playing, you don't want to give him the ball back. Usually it's the other way around. You say Mahomes, they ain't want to give Hurts the ball back.
I mean, yeah, for sure. He had a fantastic game. It was really the third down plays were the most impressive for me. Like
time plays.
They had some third and longs where he was making some impressive throws on the move and shit like that too.
The throw he hit Goddard on the sideline was like a 3rd and 16. The one that they reviewed and ended up keeping it as a catch. Tough. That play was crazy. It was a perfect throw over the
and Goddard was making some crazy catches.
He was
fantastic.
Very
catch.
Underrated tight end.
Yeah. I bet you the other one he had in the flats over the linebacker was like a 3-yard game, but he like straight lost the dude two-handed.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I can't think of anybody in particular that played bad. Is there anybody that comes to mind for y'all?
That played bad, like out of everybody on the field, both teams.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm thinking of offensive players. It's a 38-35 game. It's hard to shout out anybody who's playing great on defense. But offensively, I don't think there was anybody who was like, God damn, he dropped multiple catches.
I don't think anybody played bad necessarily. I think, you didn't see that much A.J. Brown.
That throw to A.J. Brown was beautiful.
The big touchdown.
The touchdown
right there. He did have the touchdown early. And then, I mean, the running game for Philly was kind of absent.
Miles Sanders went out early. Fuck. He didn't really go out. Yeah. He played more in the second half, but he didn't play for like 3 quarters.
At the beginning of the game?
He got stuck and had to go to concussion protocol. I found out afterwards. During the game, I didn't know what happened.
He didn't even have a carry, though, till like late in the first. I think he was injured coming into the game. I have no backing on that, but
it's a good
throughout the entire game, he was not the main running back
at all. Yeah,
Gainwell mostly, and Boston Scott was getting carries too. That was the
lead rusher was fucking Hurts, but that goes without saying.
Of course,
right? I mean, if the Eagles would have won, of course, Jalen Hurts would have been the MVP
easily.
Thanks.
But they didn't.
This is true.
That's right.
Confirmed.
That's why, Mahomes was the best player on the field.
No. Yeah, we can go back to how our conversation started last night.
Oh, yeah, let's get to this.
Get right to it, because I know y'all trying to make me out to be the biggest Mahomes haters when I've never hated on Mahomes.
They're probably like second.
You don't like Mahomes.
I don't see where I've hated on Mahomes.
You don't like him.
Only thing I've ever said against Mahomes is y'all goating him too early. That's the only thing I don't agree with.
Is that still the case?
You come in the chat as soon as the game over, the greatest ever. He's not.
Yeah, that's a wild.
That's
a wild.
No, he is. At this point,
when you know what you was doing, you knew he was trolling by saying that in the chat.
100%.
Troll you back. And you call me a
seriously
hater.
though. Seriously, at this point in his career, who is
He's
better?
still not the GOAT.
Right. I mean, who is better than Mahomes?
Go ahead and read it. I was going to read them, so you go
5 years as a starter, 5 straight championships games, 5 straight division titles.
What championship games? Oh, AFC.
AFC championship games. 5 straight 12-win seasons, 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 NFL MVPs. Like I'm just saying, this is the best player we've ever seen
I know
at
a
that
guy
position.
who actually is the GOAT.
Bro, all I'm saying is this, and I'm not talking about the collective of an entire career. Just
Then be specific.
taking this sample. This is the best player you've ever seen play the position.
No, it's not.
It is. It's just like me saying that Terrell Davis is the best player that I've ever seen play the running back position, even though he only played those 4 seasons. In those 4 seasons, he was the most dominant player you've ever seen at that position. In these 5 seasons, Patrick Mahomes has been the most dominant player you've ever seen at the position.
That you like to do. You like to consolidate a career into what you've seen in the 4 or 5 years that you think was the greatest, and then you try to compare it to somebody that had 20 plus years. But it doesn't add up.
All right. Hold on. Let me see if we word it this way. Can we get any closer to agreement? This is the greatest 5-year run of a quarterback.
I take it. As long
That's basically what you're saying.
Start a career.
As long as you put a discrepancy in front of it, and don't just leave it.
He's giving you. I'll agree to that. Fucking start the career. Just take this as okay. We agree on that part.
He's the greatest of all time. Brady, the guys who won rings when they were young.
He couldn't even beat the actual GOAT.
Stop. The guys
he couldn't even beat the actual GOAT.
He was the best player in that game, bro. He was easily the best. He was easily the best player in that game.
He easily lost.
Wait, in what game?
In that Bucks game.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes was the best player in that game.
You can say it for Mahomes in the loss, but when I say it for Hurts and his loss, it's blasphemous.
Yeah, look, last night, Jalen Hurts had the best game last night of anybody.
Big facts.
He loses, so like, of course, I'm not saying he should have been MVP or nothing. MVP is Mahomes. He's the winner, and he played really good. But Jalen Hurts had a better game than him last night.
I don't get how you can say that. Mahomes didn't turn the ball over.
Look at the statistics.
The biggest statistics in the world is turning the ball over.
No. Shut the fuck up.
No. Yeah. No. You are the guy that loves.
You don't give a shit about turnovers.
It's different when the other team don't turn it over and you lose.
No.
At that point, it's different. And when your turnover leads directly to points.
They ain't lose because of him.
They lost because of Jalen Hurts.
You could kind of make the case.
They lost because
in a second quarter turnover.
Yeah,
that ended the game.
In a game when you lose by 3 points and
I think I'm back with Moss on that.
Not an early turnover is not calling the game, bro. I don't know what kind of football world you live in, but early turnover. We have seen fucking Trevor Lawrence throw 4 picks and win the game.
Do you know what your chances are though when a defense returns a touchdown, your defense score? Do you know what your chances are to win that game?
Trevor Lawrence throw 4 picks and win the game.
Yeah, look.
Mahomes is 19-1 when his defense scores a touchdown.
That's fantastic. So we just read his overall record in any game is insane. So of course, when that happens, it's going to be very good. When you're up 10 at halftime, you're not supposed to lose. And if that fumble happens in the 4th quarter and it actually loses the game, I think it's reasonable to say that play lost the game.
Exactly.
But for it to happen as early as it did, and then after it happened, they took an even bigger lead than they had.
Right.
I mean, I think this speaks to your Mahomes point more than anything else, to be honest with you. But I'm just saying, if you got a 10-point lead at half and that play happened in the first half, you can't say that's what cost them the game.
Can't say that.
But I can argue that point all day. That's what
you'd be wrong.
No, it's not. You can point to any play to say that, but that was probably one of the most impactful plays for the Chiefs in that game. Especially early on. It kept them in it.
Of course.
I think the most impactful was that fucking punt return by Tony, but it is what it is.
Right. I mean, these are great plays for sure. What is the score if he doesn't do that? They go in down 17 at halftime. That's a big difference from being down 10.
It saved them. It saved them for sure, but it's not what cost the Eagles.
They got dominated with time of possession in the first half. The Chiefs did. They got dominated time really for the entire game. That swung everything. It did. They were on the drive. The Eagles were on the move to score again. To me, that was a huge play. Again, it's a game.
You're still wrong.
But it's not to me to say that I'm hating on Jalen Hurts or anything, but you can't say that guy had a better game and he turned the ball over that led directly to points and the other quarterback didn't.
Well, you can't say that.
Because you look at his other numbers.
Yeah, now I gotta hate on Mahomes for no reason, and I'm not. He had 181. He had 181 passing yards.
Just say facts.
The other dude had 300 passing yards. He had 4 touchdowns on his own. He rushed for 70. Like,
on his back.
He had the better game.
Just facts, bro. You a numbers guy, so you just totally denying the numbers and talking about a fumble.
I would say they had the ball more. That's why you see more yardage.
Why do you think that was?
They had the ball more. They were
why
able
do
to
you
get
think
possession.
they had the ball more?
Hurts had a good.
Because it fucking hurts.
He played well, but I'm not going to sit here and say that he outplayed Mahomes because he didn't. He didn't win the game. Mahomes made all the plays to win the game.
Okay.
Didn't he make all the touchdowns to win the game?
Did Hurts not make all the plays to win the game? When he tied it up and then scored a 2-point conversion to tie the game up and then ain't get the ball back no more?
He made all the plays
to tie the game. He did all he could do to win the game.
To tie
he don't play defense.
He gave up a 10-point lead. They only scored 11 points in the second half. He didn't know.
They gave up 38 points.
They only scored 11 points in the second half.
Their vaunted defense is what lost the game for them. 75% of the blame for that game is on the Eagles.
I don't disagree with that at all.
They came in talking about we got 6-7 dudes with 10 sacks.
Yeah, you had a better
we got the 2 best lockdown corners. We got the number 1 defense in rushing, in passing, in points per game. They gave up 38 points. But their defense lost.
But doesn't that speak to Mahomes and how much of a great game he had?
Sure.
He avoided a lot of sacks. He was getting the ball out when he should have been sacked a bunch of times.
If there's any
Hurts as well, he didn't get sacked either.
He got sacked one time.
To Moss's
twice
point,
actually.
If there's any other quarterback that has a 180-yard game, I don't think that you go this hard for it.
I don't care about like the end. Bro, he made all the plays to win the game, and they were running the ball. They were able to run the ball on the defense. So we're talking about yardage. They were able to run the ball. Kansas City ran for like 150 yards or something like that collectively. Mm-hmm. Pacheco was getting a chunk. Look at the averages. Pacheco, I ain't even looking at him. Pacheco ran for over 5 yards a carry. Mahomes had over 7 yards a carry. Even what's his name? McKinnon had over 8 yards a carry, and he looked like he lost a step. So they was moving the pill. So don't just try to blame it on Mahomes.
Like only had 108.
Look at his completion percentage. Mahomes was delivering the ball. It's not like the ball was hitting the turf.
Hold on.
I'm not saying I have nothing bad to say about Mahomes. I'm just saying the other guy ran for 3 touchdowns, threw for 300 yards.
Fantastic.
He had a better game.
He gave more credit to Hurts because their running game wasn't working. So it was really all on him while their offense was
I saw a lack of even trying to use the run game unless it was with Jalen Hurts. I wouldn't say that.
There was clearly something going on with Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
You got other backs. Kenneth Gainwell was
Look, Kenneth Gainwell is not a legitimate
He's a high draft pick, though.
He's cool. He's not Miles Sanders, though.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Stand on your other points. They're stronger. Trying to stand on Kenneth Gainwell is not the way to do it.
I mean, I won't say that. I'm just saying, like, don't make it an excuse. Like, Miles Sanders, like he's this fucking.
Miles Sanders is their number 1 back, and Hurts is their number 2 runner. They were all number 3s and 4s. You asked why they didn't run the ball very well outside of Hurts. I'm just saying that is the answer.
Yeah, I'd say
that's not an excuse. That's an answer.
Miles Sanders played the entire game.
Plus, they do for 300 yards. They didn't need to run it that much.
Yeah, no. They converted, but I'm saying he played the entire game. I don't want. It's all speculation about if he was
the entire game. Did you watch the game?
He did. I just said that
game. I had money on this man, so I knew that he won't fucking play.
He played in the fourth quarter.
He has 7 carries.
He played in the fourth quarter. He played the entire game.
He has 7 carries. If you want to talk about he was in the game throughout every quarter, you are correct.
That's all I'm saying.
100%. He had 7 carries. He was not. Every other game, he's up around 15, 20 carries a game. He was not available to them the way that he normally is.
Exactly.
But none of this is relevant. This is a stupid part of the argument. I don't even know where we go from here.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that Hurts was the best quarterback on the field yesterday. Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of this time. And we could just leave it at that.
Yeah, this whole all this kind of started with I got us down to the best 5-year run. Moss agreed to it, and then you had to keep going because this is what Carl does.
That's all I'm saying. Just put it,
turn into an extra 15 minutes.
Just put a little discrepancy after that greatest of whatever time, greatest of this time. Don't say all time because that's not true. That's a false statement.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
That's a false statement.
It just makes no sense. That makes no sense at all.
Who would you rather have a quarterback? If you were starting a team right now, you had to choose a quarterback out of history. Who would you pick? Everybody in their right mind would say Patrick Mahomes.
That don't change who the GOAT is. Whatever.
That changes who's the best player at that position you've ever watched.
This is what happens every time we have a sports discussion. Mm-hmm. You pay zero attention to career achievements, and you just see who has the greatest eye test potential for a season, which is where we'll get to Zion in a little bit. Again, out for another month. But this whole... You can ask this question if you want to, and I would take Mahomes. I hate Brady, and I'm a Mahomes guy.
Everybody
so I'm on
Brady.
your side with that part of the question.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Brady had put out a 20-plus year career
for sure
of being the greatest quarterback, possibly greatest NFL player of all time. Any attempts to discredit that is stupid.
I'm not discrediting Brady.
To bring it all the way home, try to call me a hater for pointing out what's the facts about Mahomes. You hated on Brady before he got his last 3. You hate on Brady forever. But you said he was done and he won 3 more fucking rings to even make you even utter that he's the greatest of all time. And as soon as Mahomes comes in and have a go, you ready to throw him out like he ain't never been the GOAT.
I'm not saying that, bro.
Do that.
I respect Brady for the totality of his career. All I'm saying is nobody's taking Brady over, especially at the start of their career. Imagine, we didn't see quarterbacks play like this when we were growing up. We didn't see quarterbacks start playing like this until they was into their 30s and shit like that. Brady ain't get into this bag of his career until when did Brady win his first MVP? It wasn't when he was winning those first 3 Super Bowls. He was winning it off the legs of a kicker and a defense. That's all I'm saying.
His first 3 rings, they gave him no credit.
He is winning rings off of his back.
It was everybody
this
else.
Is because of Patrick Mahomes.
You know what's wild though?
You just tried to say you weren't trying to discredit Brady.
Yeah,
you literally just said it like 45 seconds ago. I'm not discrediting Brady.
But I can say that about Ben Roethlisberger though. Ben Roethlisberger
don't try to discredit your
Mahomes. First, when we talking about Brady and Mahomes,
do what Mahomes is doing.
Brady's first 3 rings, he never got no credit for them. Get it. Defense, they gave it to defense, Belichick, whatever. Why don't Andy Reid get no credit for how great Mahomes is in his offense? Why is it all Mahomes a bust? Like Andy Reid ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, because we've seen Andy Reid with other quarterbacks and it wasn't this successful. Andy Reid has been on a run for forever. I mean, he had Donovan McNabb.
So why don't he get more credit then? I
think he get a lot of credit. People are looking at Andy Reid at this
always
point.
Mahomes, everything.
But Mahomes is what makes it go. Did he do this with Alex Smith? You remember he was there for 5
team.
Right, but now they're the AFC champion every single year. Now
they weren't what they are.
They were very mid.
They were not a team that you were scared of. They were a team that went an entire season without throwing a touchdown to a receiver.
That was a stat.
That was crazy.
That was a stat for them.
They might have won some games.
And Alex Smith
played.
Like
some great scheming that happened to do that.
They weren't the same.
You're not going to win games doing that unless you have a great coach. That's all I'm saying.
Now we're trying to go too far back the other way.
Yeah. I'm going to say, don't
I understand
do that, bro.
it with this guy.
It's a pairing. It's always going to be that, though, when you look at quarterbacks in history, and especially people who win championships. They're going to have a great coach alongside them.
The quarterback, but with other guys, they don't even bring it up to have nothing discredit the quarterback. That's all I'm saying the difference is.
If Mahomes does this for another 10 years, I think there's every reason to make a case that he is the greatest quarterback of all time.
Sure.
To do it 5 years in against Brady's entire career is crazy, particularly when we're willing to say that he's had the greatest 5-year run of anybody. That should be sufficient. That should be enough praise. If you got a hammer beyond that,
I'm not asking y'all to say anything else. I'm just saying that's what I believe.
That's fine.
Like he's the greatest quarterback that ever played. I'm not going to change that thought until I see somebody out there that can play better than Patrick Mahomes. It's a talent and with superlatives combination. Like he has the accolades and he clearly has more talent. Like it's like imagine if it was fucking every great quality you've ever wanted in a quarterback and one player. It is Patrick Mahomes. It really is. He has that That I don't give a fuckness of Brett Favre. I'm gonna sling it anywhere without the interceptions. He has the athleticism and the pocket awareness of a.
Nah, he gets interceptions. Let's not do that.
Not as many. Bro, he don't throw picks like that. He's a single-digit pick guy. He's gonna give you 40 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. It's on some Aaron Rodgers shit. And he can move around the pocket like Aaron Rodgers. And he has the leadership skills. It's like, and he can throw it 70 miles an hour or throw it 70 yards in the air. What weakness does this guy have? That's all I'm trying to say and that's when I come to my conclusion is that's the best quarterback I've ever seen. I'm sorry. I can't get off of that.
I can even accept you say,
By the way, the last 2 years he had double-digit picks, so you don't want him.
But compare that to how much he's throwing the ball and also the amount of touchdowns he's putting up. He's
looking at like a 4-to-1.
Yeah, I mean, come on, you'll be a real nitpicky here.
I'm not. I'm just saying he's a single digit. No, he had 12 and 13 in the last 2 years.
All right, yeah. How many touchdowns? 40?
Yeah, 41.
All right, that's excellent. I mean, it's a ratio.
I got
saying
nothing
you was wrong
bad.
in that statement. Is all I'm saying.
I got nothing bad to say about Mahomes. There's no way to use the GOAT. There's no way to justify saying the GOAT.
That's my only issue.
And I even agree with like what you're saying about. I don't know how to say it the right way, to be honest with you. We're getting into semantics a little bit, but like. Best quarterback.
He's better. He's
did the same thing with Aaron Rodgers in comparison to Brady. He's the most talented ever. Like, he ain't better than
But the
Brady.
difference is he's winning the Super Bowls, though.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers only won the one.
Yeah.
He didn't double it up, bro.
Sure, yeah.
That's what make the difference.
I know.
That's what make the argument different now. That's what I'm saying. All right. Yeah. But
Just remove the GOAT.
Yeah.
Greatest of this time.
Anything else?
I would say he's the most talented quarterback we've ever seen. I think that's basically what you're getting at, and I think that's reasonable. But it's the greatest of all time.
With the accolades, though,
it just can't be said.
A motherfucker can be talented. Like Jay Cutler was talented.
Come on now.
I mean, I'm just saying. I know he won't like that. But he could throw the fucking rock. But the motherfucker won't good though.
Use a better example.
I'm just saying.
He is the most talented. He is what you said. He is the complete package. There is no weakness. He has some accolades. But you can't compare accolades to the actual greatest of all time yet.
How many times
hasn't been there? He's not. He doesn't have enough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean,
if you're doing the accolades thing, they don't stand up. If you say talent, I think you could put him right now up against Brady's best seasons.
How many
and you would look at the two and say this one's more talented.
How many quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl and the MVP in the same season? Not even counting the Super Bowl MVP.
One, right?
I don't even know.
I believe he's the first to do it.
He did it twice then, right?
I don't think so.
He did it the second year.
I don't think he won it.
He won a Super Bowl MVP.
Why did you ask this question you don't know the answer to that?
I mean, I'm asking, dude. That's why I'm asking the question.
And then I gave an answer and you said, no, it's not. I don't know for sure either, but I thought you were giving us, I thought that I had heard, again, looking at gambling stats, they were like 0-6 for winning the MVP and winning the Super Bowl the same year. 11. That could be wrong.
It's been 11 quarterbacks that have won.
To win the Super Bowl and the MVP the same year? Well, there we go. We got an answer.
Who was that? Who are the 11 quarterbacks?
Bradshaw, Mark Mosley, Lawrence Taylor, Joe Montana.
Lawrence Taylor is not a quarterback.
I mean, same players.
We're talking about quarterbacks.
Joe Montana, Steve Young, Brett Favre, Kurt Warner, and Patrick Mahomes.
All right, so small list. Who's done that twice? I mean, it doesn't happen again for most of these guys. I bet you that list gets a whole lot smaller at that point. And it's just, we're talking about great. He can retire right now. He's a Hall of Famer in the next 5 years. That's for sure. Anybody would say that.
Sure. It's not the greatest.
This won't be the GOAT.
I think he will be. I think by the time his career is over with, I believe it's like a legitimate shot that he will be.
And it's going to be early, though.
It's too early. Accurate prediction to make.
It's like 5 years from now, it'll be like easy.
What would he have to have in if he retires in 5 years from now, which I can't imagine he does, but if he retires in 5 years
to be considered
let's make it more reasonable.
He have to win a Super Bowl for the next every year the next 5 years.
So would you say the only way he could be would you say the only way he can be the GOAT is by more championships?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not mad at that take. I just want to
I don't think that's the case. I think he could win 2 more rings in the next 5 years and
How many did Brady finish with?
7.
I think you could make a case at 5. But I think less than 5.
That's less than
I don't think
Montana.
you can make that argument.
Montana was who Brady was chasing.
This is my personal.
Well, you can't have less than Montana.
He got 4.
I thought he had 5. Yeah, 5 or 4.
No, he got 4.
4?
I don't know.
Okay.
He got 4. Steve Young won.
So he'd be tied with Montana.
But no, yeah, I mean, I think he can get to 4 and it'll be fine. But
I mean, you saying it now, so of course, whatever he does in the future, he already there. So he don't need to do nothing extra for you.
not really.
He's asking the wrong person this question. He's
to me, he really don't have to win another one at all. But
his career, like you said, his career could be done now.
For the argument of for everybody to recognize,
You don't really believe that, do you?
Yeah, because
if he retires in 10 years and he has 2 Super Bowls, you would say that playing 15 years and winning 2 Super Bowls that he's better than Brady winning 7.
He would have 4.
You would say that? No, I'm saying you said right now he already is, so nothing else needs to happen.
He never
I'm
wins
saying
the ring again.
He plays another 10 years and doesn't get any more. You would say that he's the greatest of all time with 2 Super Bowls.
I would say he's the greatest I've ever watched.
Would you say he's the greatest of all time?
Statistically, no. Or I couldn't say it statistically, but he's the greatest I've ever watched.
The greatest
I've ever seen in a 5-year span or whatever span that was, what it was, for his eliteness of his career. So I would, quantify it to that. But
that was a good way of him agreeing that he's not the GOAT right now. That's what you just did. Good job.
I think
basically saying, what do you got now? We'll make him go.
It's the greatest I've ever watched.
Now you're saying it's not.
The greatest I've ever watched. You got to say that. Everybody says that. Everybody has to say that. I feel like everybody has to say that. Everybody has to agree with that.
So anyway, I was glad that I had all of my bets on the Eagles. I kind of wanted the Eagles to win. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. But once they had the 10-point lead and blew it, I was low-key like, I kind of hope the Chiefs win. I don't even care about these bets. I honestly didn't want to hear the Chiefs lose and then all the arguments about how overrated he was, which would have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it would have gotten...
I would have crowned Hurts, though, as the best, taking the crown.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You can't just do that.
It's not discrediting what Mahomes done, but the crown can be taken.
But
not like I say, if Joe Burrow beat him and win Super Bowl, I would say the crown would have been taken.
Are you saying just because he won the Super Bowl, or because of the game
and some more shit?
Like, would you have crowned Stafford last year?
The whole season? No.
All right, so it's not just Super Bowl.
It's not just. It's the whole season. Jalen Hurts was the guy all season. He would have won MVP if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, but Mahomes also threw for over 5,000 yards again. We got to stop acting like this is normal.
Hurts numbers is crazy too.
It ain't 5,000 yards crazy though, bro. It's just. It's not.
Okay. Wait a second. Let's continue on this. But Hurts, I believe Hurts broke the record for rushing touchdowns as well, on top of all of his passing statistics.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player.
Does that count towards being the best quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, all of that could count, but we're talking about, look.
We value passing stats above the rushing addition that you bring.
Just looking at individual players, you're shitting me if we're talking about comparing the two, honestly. Hurts is awesome.
This is not like a career thing. This is off of this season.
This season.
If he played both the other games,
it's not comparable. I don't think. No, I think if we're talking about this season, you drop either. So the Eagles win that Super Bowl if they got Mahomes.
The best record. You know what I'm saying? If he got MVP, won a Super Bowl, ain't got Super Bowl MVP, he wouldn't be considered the best of the season. To you,
he didn't do any. I mean, he's not doing any of that stuff. That's what I'm saying. What are you talking about?
I prefaced it.
It's a hypothetical conversation to point out that you would never say it's not Mahomes. This is kind of what I believe Moss is getting at.
If anybody did that, sure, that could happen. But it's not happening. Nobody's doing stuff like that.
I mean, it was very possible. He almost did that. Hurts this year. It's impossible. It really almost happened.
You know what almost is? That's losing. You almost won. You know what they call that? A loss. I almost called it.
Make this argument because it didn't happen. But I was just doing a hypothetical
it's all this hypothetical shit. I'm talking about what we actually witnessed. This guy actually won his second Super Bowl in 5 years. Actually, we're not talking about if Hurts wins a Super Bowl next year or the next 3 years.
We are. This is what you do on a podcast because we already had like the actual factual historical discussion with Brady and Mahomes Mahomes and
Yeah,
stuff.
you dismissed the
and
facts
you
of that,
didn't
and that's
give up
hypothetical.
anything on that.
I'm not
So we
dismissing
move
facts.
on to a hypothetical
down
to
to-
just see is there any point that you would have said things were different. And what I was ultimately driving towards is I still am more of the opinion that passing quarterback is more important. So I do discredit Hurts a little bit in that all of the rushing touchdowns are great, but if they're neck and neck, I would lean towards Mahomes. But this is always my argument with Lamar.
I got a question for you though.
What's up?
Would you just say the same thing about Cam Newton that season that he went to the Super Bowl?
In the MVP season?
When it was more on his legs than his passing?
I don't remember what the other competition was. I don't know if there was anybody close. Of course, as a Panthers
Brady.
fan, I was like, he was clearly the MVP that year. But we were also
Breeze, I can't think
16.
of what
We were
was playing
15-1
Right.
on the season as well. I believe he had
Very
the
similar
legitimate
seasons to
MVP.
what Jalen Hurts and the Eagles did this year.
Yeah, no
what I'm
doubt,
saying.
no doubt.
Off the same merit with his legs. So I thought it would be a good comparison.
No, I think it is. I mean, I think it's a reasonable question. I think the rushing stuff is relevant. Like you can't discredit when somebody brings so many more rushing yards and rushing touchdowns than 80% of the rest of the quarterbacks. You have to count that for them.
That's a fact.
I'm just saying, like when you're talking about like what quarterback would you rather have, this person, that person? I do prefer like the guy that puts up the crazy passing numbers. So I'm with you on that point.
Yeah, you want your quarterback to be efficient, but I mean, hey, Hurts can sling the rock. I think he showed
facts.
that.
Big
That's
facts.
all except for that last play. That shit was puny. I don't know what the fuck happened.
It was so weird
on that one. But yeah, very awkward play on that one. Just like the ball traveled like 20 yards and died. But he proved. I mean, he can throw the ball for sure. Nobody's taking it away from Jalen Hurts. But I'm just saying, once we start talking about Patrick Mahomes level, is just I want people to realize like we've never seen this type of player. Like this dude is. You can't really compare anybody to him. Really, he's so much better than anybody you can compare him to. That's all I'm
I
saying.
agree 100%. But last night, Jalen Hurts outplayed him. And if your defense that is shut down and all this other shit, I really based the majority of my bets, my pick with you, everything that I picked was based on their defense is so good. I don't expect them to shut down Mahomes, but you make it difficult and you play the way that the Eagles have been playing on offense, which they did again, they should have won that game. And their defense showed up and had 0 sacks, only a couple of pressures. He did have a couple of nice escapes, but there was relatively no pressures.
They didn't
there was
touch
no
a
picks,
football.
no nothing.
They didn't bat. I don't remember them batting down a pass.
I don't either. They were letting Kelsey run all over the place.
What DB got their hands on a ball? I don't remember seeing one. Patrick Mahomes went 13 or 14 in the second half.
Yeah.
And I bet that the one, it was like the one incompletion, I think he barely escaped and kind of like threw it at Kelsey's feet or something like that.
Yeah.
So you did, I mean, the Eagles defense, they gotta take a whole lot of blame for this shit.
Their best defensive play, and really the only defensive play that stands out at all, was Gardner Johnson coming up, running crazy from a distance and lit Pacheco up.
He fucked him up.
That hit was nasty.
That could have been the DeMar Hamlin situation real quick. I was about to say, oh shit, the Super Bowl about to be over.
Yeah.
This motherfucker about to be canceled. This gonna suck.
Legitimately the only good play that I saw them make.
Yeah, that was like super physical. But I mean, honestly, when I knew, and I didn't want to jinx myself, but I knew that the Chiefs were going to win in the first half when Mahomes had the ankle injury. When he came up hobbling.
All right, now you sound stupid.
I swear.
Real LeBron now.
I swear, bro, I was going to put it in the chat. I just didn't want to jinx myself. I was man.
You didn't want to get called out on it later.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You didn't want to stand on that.
I didn't want to jinx myself.
Nobody saw him hobble to the sideline and sitting on the... When he got the injury earlier in the playoffs, you could tell he was fucked up. He couldn't even barely walk. But he went to the sideline and he was like straight faced. I'm a gangster. I'm not showing no emotion. He was on the sideline with his head back, like damn near crying. And everybody in the world thought this game was over. They went to halftime and all of a sudden he got shot up and he looked back to normal.
You see a thank you call to
it's one of his superpowers on the field. It's just that toughness. It's like it's one of those people like you know, I don't know, if I compare it to basketball, it's like, you know, some people can still just or they hit like an extra level of focus when you foul them and they're going up and they're gonna make the shot regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, when a player like that is hurt, he tap into a different level of focus. So I don't know. I saw it
Teradol. Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah.
Teradol?
93 octane. Straight in the ankle.
Oh yeah.
Look, man, you didn't believe that. Get out of here.
I swear to God,
I'm not buying,
bro.
you should have said it. You should have said it.
I should have said it, but whatever.
Show me a text of somebody you
it,
told, and I'll believe it.
If you said it, they would have lost.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
That's what I didn't want to jinx myself on that one. But
What about the final play? The big pass interference or holding call? What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Cheap call, but he did hold him. I mean, so, and they made the call. What can you say?
It was pretty clearly a hold.
Yeah, he did hold him.
It's just like as a
I thought
fan.
you could use your hands within 5 yards. He was at the line.
I did wonder about
but you
that
can't
too.
hold somebody though. You can't hold nobody anywhere on the
You
field.
can jam him.
He hit him on the double move, and he was going to be toasted.
Yeah.
And he had to hold.
He really held him twice.
Yeah.
He tugged his
On the
jersey
first.
at the top of the route, and then at the start of the route, he like
The
wrapped around him and had him on his hip. So he really held him twice.
That's what really cost the game.
I think it was a legit call. I think
that was third down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, it was
That's
going
what
to be
really cost the
something.
game.
It was either going to be illegal contact downfield or holding. I mean, it is what it is, and it's kind of was like, even if you don't call that one, it was a call in the first half where it was the same matchup, Juju versus Bradbury, and it was a big third down over the middle. And he clearly pinned his arm and didn't let Juju get his arm. That was a clear hold on that one they didn't call. So that's just kind of, it's football. You know, it's kind of the way it goes. You know, it's going to be bad calls, good calls. It's going to be calls at inopportune, moments and stuff like that. But
sure.
I didn't really have I know people hate to see it in that way.
Of course.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's just what it is. It's just
anybody that's not a Chiefs fan, whether you're an Eagles fan or just a football fan watching the Super Bowl. Nobody wants to see the game end off of that, because as soon as that happened, the game was over.
Yeah, pretty much. They was nailing the way out.
I mean, it was clearly a hold. Bradbury said it himself. It is what it is. I don't think there's really a lot to dispute there, but a lot of people were heated.
I don't think you could sit there and say shit like we got cheated, because it's like, man, you guys had a 10-point lead. And I can't, at that point, I just don't want to hear any of that anymore. You had a 10-point lead. You allowed them to score a touchdown on every possession they had in the second half. Your great defense, that's what it came down to. You allowed them to run the same play twice in the red zone area and get wide open on the exact same play.
There was nobody within 7 yards
of either Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore. It was crazy. The exact same play. It was like a whip route out of the motion before the start of the play. I mean, you guys allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
You allowed the punt return to happen to set them up for it. So, I mean, at that point, you can't say that, we got cheated out of the game. It's like, how did we even get to this point where they even had the opportunity for this when you guys dominated possession, time of possession and all of these things throughout? It shouldn't have been close. If you really look at the statistics of the game, you'd be like, how did the Chiefs even win this?
Yeah, no, I said that multiple times, particularly during the first half. They should be up 14-17.
Yeah.
Like 14 to 17 points. And they never pushed the lead out. And
I mean,
it was what it was.
It's really no lead safe with them, but if you get it's such it's really like basketball when you play against the Chiefs, man. Like, once they start coming, it's gone. Like, once they tied up, what can you do from that? Like, they're going to continue to score. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. You don't want to get into a shootout with these guys. And I know that wasn't their intention, because they were trying to play like ball control and stuff like that. But that's kind of what it ended up being, as a shootout. And I feel like 9 times out of 10, you get into a shootout with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, you're going to lose that game. You had to find your defender had to make one play. You know what I'm saying? One sack changes that. One pass breakup changes that. That's how you win a game against them. Not in a shootout fashion, because even if they would have got the ball last, it's like, do they leave Patrick Mahomes enough time, or I don't know, or we're just going into overtime at this point. Do you think you're gonna stop Patrick Mahomes now? Probably not. So
I'm sure the Chiefs felt the same way with the Eagles though. They was getting points at will too. That's why they was kneeling the ball.
But the Eagles got stops. I mean, the Chiefs got stops at the end of the game. They got them to punt the ball a couple times. They got some stops, and of course they got the big turnover. So,
well, if you were an Eagles fan that was blaming that final penalty, you can make a case of the other, maybe even bigger penalty is when they got the false start right before the fumble, because they were lined up again to do the Hurts push and pick up the first down easy. And they false started, made it 3rd and 6, right. And that's when he tried to take the outside run and fumbled, and that play would have never happened if they just stick with the quarterback sneak, which is what they would have been doing. True. That was a big penalty.
Part of the game.
Turned out to be a big penalty.
Yeah, part of the game.
A fantastic game, though, man.
Definitely.
We'll get into the halftime show.
Yeah, I was gonna say halftime show is the only other thing I had from the game. I think that we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and make your bold proclamation.
Rihanna.
What is that? I mean, visually it was the best halftime show I've ever seen. Visually.
Can you expand on that more?
Just they had the fucking platforms suspended in the air, and they were like in motion and stuff.
Somebody said shots, like a Super Mario game.
Oh yeah, I mean that was cool. But the shots they were getting, from that were like the you could see the fans' camera phones in the back and stuff like that, and like. I don't know, especially the last angle where she was like super high in the air and the camera angle came down. That's visually, it was amazing, I thought, visually. And then sonically, I mean, Rihanna got fucking hits, dog, and she tapped into that bag. I thought it was a very entertaining halftime performance.
Sure.
I'll let you go because you had the more opposition. I don't have a strong take on this at all. Every single year, no matter who performs, half the people say it was a terrible performance. Half the people loved it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was relatively average. We had TV turned up pretty loud the whole game, so I don't think it was just a TV thing. But it seemed like her singing was kind of quiet and the energy wasn't very high. I would have liked something that was like a little bit more high energy. But like you said, the hits were crazy. Every time the next song starts, it's like, yo, this is my joint. Sure. So I had no problems with the performance. Probably not that
Kanye to come
beautiful.
Out.
I was too. I was
waiting on Hov to come up too.
Either one of them would have been good.
He got his umbrella off.
That was disappointing. I think that's my biggest disappointment with the halftime show.
Same.
Is that there was no guest. It seems like every year there's somebody that pops up out of nowhere. Guest. But I didn't have a strong.
Well, she did have a guest.
Hey, come on, man, get that out of here.
She did have a guest. The baby.
Yeah, nobody cares.
The baby reveal.
Not important.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought it was weird that you didn't think that she was pregnant. I thought that was weird.
That I didn't think she was pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, I just didn't seem like. I guess looking back at it, it did kind of look like she was revealing it. When I was watching it, it didn't look like she was trying to reveal it. It looked like she was kind of like, because all her red outfit blended in to me. Until they make like a close shot, you don't really see that her stomach is out.
Oh, I thought it was so obvious.
It didn't make sense, but obviously,
to me, I was like, pregnant. You could clearly tell by the way she's wearing her jumpsuit. Because if you were saying like, I think it was just like pregnancy weight or something like that,
which she did have.
It could possibly happen, but she had months to prepare for this. We're talking about a superstar, Rihanna, who could afford the best chefs and trainers in the world. She would have been in tip-top shape for a performance. Or even if she was not, they would have covered it up. She had it zipped down
in getting that surgery and shit done.
She had it zipped down to the point where you can see her stomach.
Yeah, I can see it in the close-up.
She wanted you to see her stomach. That's why I was like, oh, she's obviously pregnant. But people are like, you expect her to break? Rihanna ain't a big dancer like that to begin with.
She's never been a big dancer, but at the same time, that kind of changed my tune on the performance. I thought the performance was mid. The visuals, the platforms, and all that shit was tight. That shit was amazing. I agree with that. But the performance is mid because she wasn't doing that. But knowing that she was pregnant now, it's like, all right, you're not going to be moving a whole lot in your performance. But if she wasn't pregnant, I think she would have been doing a whole lot more dancing if she won't. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
did put a little more effort
I'm
into
sure
the
there's been a lot more energy out there. But
that was my thing because it was just dead energy.
Pregnant woman who's suspended 100 feet in the air. She's done enough.
Sure,
I think at this point you shouldn't be asking her to do
it. But I was in the impression that she won't pregnant. I'm like, yo, she ain't even doing nothing. She chilling. She barely walking. Yeah. She barely walking. This might be a fucking. She had a versus battle with herself. Is what she doing up there. But yeah, hits got too many hits to choose by. A lot of shows she didn't even do, but a lot of hits. She did her thing. Shout out to Rihanna.
I enjoyed it, man. I think I don't get where the hate is coming from. It's like everybody likes these songs. Just sit back and fucking enjoy the show.
Well, hey, if she won't pregnant, performance was mid. That's all I'm saying like that. She won't doing a lot.
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
You want to deliver the baby at halftime?
I said if she won't pregnant.
I think that's what you want.
I already said her being pregnant makes sense now.
Don't use this for the clip, but her being pregnant is not my issue. It's how I'm going to say this. We want a high energy halftime show, not like
for sure
a calm melodic performance. That's so true. All the posts that I see, all the women getting mad offended about she's pregnant. Of course, this is what she was doing. Can you imagine being pregnant? I don't care. As a football fan, I want a high energy performance. So for me to say that was low energy, it didn't really move the needle. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll die on that hill. But I still enjoyed it. I don't care that much about the halftime. Well, it doesn't matter.
I didn't get the takeaway from it that it was low energy. I didn't feel that way when I was watching it. I thought it was good. It was kind of what I expected from Rihanna.
The got you then.
Huh?
The theatrics got you then.
Yeah, I mean,
I wasn't blind about the theatrics. I can see she wasn't moving.
But I'm just saying, why is it just got to be her? It's like, all right, I mean,
she had 1,000 dancers. The dancers was dancing their ass off.
But these motherfuckers look like they getting it. They look like the people off of, what's that show?
Jabberwockies.
No, the show that we watched, the Japanese or the
I don't know.
The one where they're killing people.
Yeah. Squid Game. Look like a bunch of Squid Game motherfuckers dancing around and shit. So I'm like, yo,
that's every performance though. So I don't give any points for that.
Yeah.
Every halftime show they got.
We're not looking to see the dances. We're looking to see what Rihanna gonna do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's why they had that many dances. They had
of course they were trying to hide the fact that she wasn't gonna be moving a lot
out there. And
makes sense.
I don't know. I don't have any complaints from it. And I thought, vocally, I would. The only thing I would say is you could clearly tell that she was taking breaks and stuff like that. She wasn't singing the entire song. Sure, whatever. But that's a complaint. But when she was singing, it sounded fucking awesome. So
I don't care if they get up there and lip sync it. It really
vocally, I enjoyed it. I thought
it was fun.
I liked all the songs, and I think she performed them well, especially closing it out. She had a great selection, and they put it together nicely.
We got to look at Rihanna for 20 minutes and listen to her music. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Low energy ass performance, but
that's what it is. Shout out to her. Congrats. Her and A$AP.
It was a good night.
Baby number 2. He ain't playing no games.
A$AP.
Back A$AP.
Yeah, his name is A$AP.
Good idea.
You know I had to double that. I had to double it.
It's like, damn. Man.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, right. I don't blame him.
Any other Super Bowl takeaways? Anything else we missed?
Nah, I think
Devontae Smith's a baller.
He's a baller. He's one.
Yeah, he's like that. I guess he's definitely the number one going forward. He probably kind of solidified his spot like that.
Like,
you mean like over AJ?
Yeah. I mean, he was in that game.
Yeah, he certainly was that game.
So we'll see.
And honestly, the whole playoffs, he was having big games, and it wasn't like AJ was playing bad. He wasn't the main target. Any playoff game. I think it seems like it's near impossible to keep that guy from getting open. So he gets the ball a lot.
Smith has 7 catches for 100. AJ Brown has 6 catches for 96 and a touchdown.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I didn't realize
because the one touchdown was like 50 plus.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. I'm not saying don't count that or nothing, but I guess that's kind of why I didn't realize he was so big.
Yeah, they both caught 45-yard passes.
Yeah, that one towards the end.
I feel like AJ was kind of quiet in the second half, but maybe I need to rewatch it or something. He probably made some plays.
It was just less catches,
less splash. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Eagles got a good team going forward. can they run him back? We'll see. But
I think they'll be fine. They have a stacked squad. They'll be all right.
Yeah, I think so too. I
fine.
think they have a lot of free agents I was hearing, so they probably are going to lose a lot of people. But we've talked about them for weeks now about how the draft picks that they have and how they built the team. So I don't think they're going to fall off by any means.
Yeah, their front office is like that, and they're built the right way. In the trenches, you can replace a lot of those skill positions, through the draft and free agency pretty easily. So they're solidified in the spots they need to be. They'll be all right.
True indeed.
I've seen a lot of Cowboys fans real hype last night.
Why is that?
They love that shit.
Yeah,
That shit's shit.
Can you argue that? I mean, can you be happy about that? I understand being just happy that your rival didn't win the Super Bowl, but the stuff I was seeing, they're talking trash. This team ran through your whole division. They got beat by the Chiefs 38-35 in the Super Bowl. There's nothing to be happy about if you're a Cowboys fan.
I mean, that's how they do. Anybody in that division, they're going to hate on the other one, whatever they do. That's just what it is.
That's how they celebrate. That's their Super Bowl. Watching the Eagles knock it.
Right. Pretty much. So
super whack.
That's why Cowboys. I mean, that's why you hate the Cowboys, not because of the team, it's because of the fans.
100%.
Why Dak got booed.
I didn't even see that. I heard about it.
Yeah,
I missed that
Shitting on them
completely.
for winning the Walter Payton Award.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's
wild.
for fucking being good, having good
person.
charities.
So that's a lot of Eagles
Y'all
fans
hating
out
on him
there.
for being a good fucking dude off the field.
Right.
It's a lot of Eagles fans out there. That's kind of how it goes.
True. Oh, the one other thing that was crazy, again, not a big piece of the game or nothing, but they have been advertising this Gronk kicking the field goal for, I swear, 6 months now.
I didn't see that. Did
They put it in a commercial. I thought this was a live part of the halftime
right,
show.
That's what I thought.
After halftime, they're a FanDuel, let's look in live at Gronk kicking the field. It looked like a commercial. There's 20 people standing behind him. He kicked it. It looks like it went into me. They said he missed it. And they're like, FanDuel is still going to give out free bets to everybody involved, even though he missed. I got the $10 too. But they marketed this like it was part of the halftime show. And it was a quick little afterthought, 20 seconds.
They really did. I didn't even see it. I missed it. I think I went outside after.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, I completely missed that too.
But, oh well. Enough NFL, I suppose. We'll be back next year. Man, that's
200.
It's not
250 days, something like that.
Well, till the season starts.
Yeah,
I don't think that's accurate.
September.
might be a little bit more. Might be a little bit less, but it's 200 something. Yeah, for sure.
Close to 7 months.
Yeah, I don't know.
We start getting into draft and opening training camps.
The season starts to me when the combine comes around. That's when the season starts for me. I enjoy all of that shit. So I told you I already got some draft picks lined up for the Steelers. So
let them know.
Yeah, I've been reaching out.
Let them know the choices.
I've been trying to hit up Tom.
205 days.
Yeah, I mean that sounds.
Time.
No, I said that sounds more accurate.
I was out about
those 45 days. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a long time. That's a big difference.
Kinda.
Month and a half.
Anyway, enough football. Before the Super Bowl, there was a lot of NBA news. Big trade deadline.
Yeah.
A couple of big moving pieces. I believe so. When we recorded last week, Kyrie had been traded.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that one was a done deal.
Yep.
And I think we kind of hinted at the fact that we didn't know what would happen with KD.
Right.
If he was going to stay.
I wish I was saying
Brooklyn or not.
I meant to say that during the pod last week. I think he goes to the Suns, but of course it looked like I'm just saying it now. But I had seen some
What made
rumors.
you say that?
I had seen a few rumors about the Suns was had loaded up a trade thing already ready to go for KD. I was like, that's weird. They just ready, they knew that he was ready to go. I was like, they wouldn't do that unless they really had a good feeling that they was about to trade him. So I forgot to say that shit, but he ended up going to the Suns. Big trade.
That was the big news. I thought it was the craziest part to me about that whole trade was I couldn't believe that DeAndre Ayton wasn't a part of it. Because they've been talking about him being unhappy with Phoenix for the last season and a half. There's been him and the coach had legitimate beef at the end of last season up until the first day of them being in training camp or whatever.
Right.
They had no communication. They made a big deal about him, and I think it's Monty Williams. Not even speaking or whatever. So I just thought
DeAndre
they would move him, and if you're the Nets, I just assumed that you would demand he would be a part of it.
Right. They gave a lot up.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
They gave a lot up. They gave a lot up though still. I mean, without getting Aiden.
Bridges, Michael Bridges,
Cam
Johnson. Cam Jefferson. Who's Cam Jefferson?
I don't know.
He was a quarterback in college. Not important. Cam Johnson. A bunch of draft picks. Those are honestly all that I can think of. Were there
Cam
other
Johnson,
players?
Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, who hasn't even played this season.
Yeah, he's getting part of it.
4 first-round picks and a 2028 pick swap. That's a lot still.
Definitely.
A lot of good pieces.
Yeah, I don't hate the trade for either side, to be honest with you.
Both sides win.
I really think Brooklyn did a pretty solid job of, they obviously fucked up.
Yeah.
With all the moves they made to get Harden, Kyrie, and KD.
I don't think they fucked up with the moves. I think they fucked up with how they dealt with them while they was there.
I think it was a bad decision from the beginning, but you can make the case that they had the right guys and did whatever fucked it up after. But once they fucked it up, I think at this point they've done a pretty good job of getting out of it. None of the trades, like individually, you would look at and be like, damn, they stole a bunch of great pieces from this. But like the team that they have now, they still have a legitimate team that could make the playoffs.
It's a lot of good rotation players.
Yeah, it's mad B-level guys, and you just have to add a star over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of like the team they got. That's not the exciting part.
It's just kind of just Brooklyn getting back to being Brooklyn, right? I mean, they're not going to be this super competitive team, and I guess they never even really got there.
The New Jersey Nets had a few good squads.
I mean, the Brooklyn Nets have been a pretty terrible team. I
mean, it's the same team. They just moved.
Right.
They just the same organization.
They've been pretty bad. So, I mean, that's what I mean by that.
Since they've been in Brooklyn.
For sure.
When was the last good Nets team before that? Even Jason?
I don't remember.
I think of Jason Kidd, Jefferson, Kenyon Martin.
Jason Kidd's a coach now.
Well, that's like 05, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a little minute.
Yeah. I was like a child.
He's still kind of like a child.
Pretty much.
You're bigger.
Yeah, I'm a big child. That's fair. That's fair.
Nah, but I mean, they got good pieces right now, I think. Dinwiddie's a legit player. Claxton has turned into a really good center. They still got Curry. Cam Thomas had the 3 straight 40-point games. He's a rookie.
Got four 40 balls. Got that $40,000 in fine, too.
For hitting the no homo on him.
He hit the no homo after the game. I was like, come on, dog.
That's
you
so
got to
ridiculous.
update your shit. You got to hit him with an AO or a pause or something. They wouldn't know what you was talking about.
It kind of made me... I liked his game after the first 3 40-point games, but when he hit the no homo, I actually appreciated him even more. I was like, that's my guy right there.
Yeah.
Respect.
He's too young to be saying no homo. Kids at his age should know no homo.
Hold to it.
That shit we did when we was in high school was no homo. I think it's evolved now.
I think no homo is better than pause.
I think we should just get
I
rid
think
of all
pause
that
is
shit.
better if you don't get fined. They wouldn't have fined him if you said pause.
Yeah, I mean, financially it makes more sense, but I think we should hold it down and bring no homo back. That's just me.
Man, we ain't gonna get fined, so we can get it off.
Yeah, I do. I do still.
I just think we should just stop saying them shits altogether.
All right.
But
We ain't trying to shame you for being gay if you want to just come on out.
No,
We
bro.
just say it as a joke. We don't really mean that you're gay.
No. It's like, why do you have to say that if you know you're not gay?
If after the game you say I was sucking in the D, I'm gonna say I'm gonna make some kind of gay joke.
That's fun. Joke. That's fine.
It's fun.
But I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna apologize or like
You have to apologize.
try to correct what I
The
said.
man gets
like,
behind you and he's banging you. And he's banging you.
That's one of the best clips of all time. Charles Barkley. For those that don't
Shaq
know.
was over there dying.
He was like, come on, man.
I'll see that one. And yeah, I mean, it's like, yo, I shouldn't have to say it. You know what I'm talking about, though. You know what I'm talking about. Like, come on.
But it's not like you have. You know you don't have to. Everybody knows we're just making fun of you.
It's just fun.
So if you want to just stand on it, that's fine.
Yeah,
I got no problem with
Trying to
jokes.
make it all serious and shit.
I think it's just funny. Like, yo, you ain't gotta.
You got to take on the white boy way of just leaning into it even more.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going that route.
Why not?
Oh, why?
Why not?
If there ain't no problem. You
If
so
you're not
comfortable.
gay, then what do you care?
Because that's not part of my personality. That's not what I do.
There's a level where you're not okay with it.
No, yeah. Once we actually get talking like actual gay shit, yeah.
There's a line. There's a line that makes you uncomfortable at some point. So don't try to holier than thou us.
Right, but that's because it's like I know the things that I intend to say is not gay. But you know the white boy shit is they intentionally say gay stuff. Yeah. I don't do that. I would never do that. That's
how you fight back about somebody trying to call you out. You make them uncomfortable back.
No,
it's a genius
voice card.
Yeah, it's a genius play.
I don't do that. I don't do it. I just laugh it off with you. I think we can both have a ha-ha.
Acceptable too.
That's it. That's all we need. Nobody needs to lean in further.
We got way off track.
Yeah.
So the Suns, Phoenix, they got a loaded team at this point. If they get everybody healthy, they're loaded.
I don't know if they loaded.
How could you not? They got a big four.
Sure, they have no bench now.
Fuck it.
The bench is fucking ass. If you got those guys, you should be fine in the shape that you are. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, KD, DeAndre Ayton. That's a powerhouse right there.
Yeah, to me, like
you
this
gave
is
up
like
Bridges, Cam Johnson. You gave up your bench, your best players off the bench.
I mean, Bridges was a starter, so you're flipping him for KD.
Yeah,
Cam is. I mean, he's a good piece, but if you upgrade Bridges to KD, like it is what it is.
Oh yeah,
I don't know who their bench is. I don't know who their bench is, to be honest.
I just don't know if I can go as far as saying they're loaded. They're loaded with stars.
Yeah,
but we all know playoffs is about how deep you are. The mothers.
Oh, I think the opposite.
For real?
Yeah, once you get into the playoffs, we don't need to be filling in 9 guys deep. Y'all are going to play 40 minutes, and we need 2 or 3 bench players that can give like really solid game. I don't know where you find that within their bench. I know Campaign can put up points.
Like a 6-man rotation, or not 6-man, like 7-man rotation.
7 or 8.
7, 8, 8-man rotation.
Those 3 guys that come off the bench gonna have to do something, or they on the field.
But they can be NBA quality players. You pair them with KD, like that makes it a difference. Like, or you pairing them with Chris Paul and Booker, like you gonna be, or hopefully you will become better by just being on the floor next to these guys. You know what I'm saying? You don't need guys to come in and replace them per se. You just need guys to come in and fill a role.
I feel like playoffs is about having a full in-depth roster to be.
I don't think this makes them. I don't bet on them to win a championship, and that's just strictly because I don't know if I believe in the other pieces that they have as much to win a championship. As in Devin Booker and Chris Paul, it doesn't really have much to do with KD being added to that situation. But do I think they're contenders overall? Yeah, sure, probably so.
It's hard for me to keep all this memory in check for the past couple of postseasons, but I feel like Booker has proven that he's a dog when it gets in. Like he's had injury problems throughout regular season and stuff, but in the playoffs, I feel like he was going nuts. I can't remember that for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Paul is the guy that has all the question marks about. He's been really good. He's been a part of really good teams and hasn't gotten it done. If he can't do it with KD. And Booker,
that's what I'm saying.
Then he's in a real problem.
Yeah,
right.
But I would think that if they're not the favorites in the West, they got to be second at this point.
I agree.
All right. You think too?
Sure. I mean, I could put them in that situation, but
I mean, they 5th seed right now, but they a few games behind being first.
Yeah,
literally. So,
and there's still all the questions around Denver. They got to do it before they're going to get any credit as being like the top guy.
Has KD played yet? He hasn't played.
No, he's injured.
Oh, okay.
He'll be back after All-Star break, like your boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he won't be.
Oh, you might not be. I guess.
I seen that Zion re-aggravated his hamstring injury or something.
Sad story.
Like that. Yeah, I mean, he has to get on the floor. I mean, that's the story of his career so far. You know, you could be a dominant player, but you got to play the game.
I'm glad you finally admitted that's all we've been saying for years, but for some reason you think he's going to come back and be MVP. You got to stay on the floor.
I mean, I think it's a lot of players that have missed a lot of games in the start of their career and went on to have. And then people wrote them off too early on.
There's not a lot.
Who? Who you talking
about? Well, I mean, a lot of elite level players.
Embiid is probably the best example, at least that I have off the top of my head.
People trash Steph Curry for his ankle injuries.
He had a lot.
In his career.
I think this is totally different. I think I'd have to check.
They said and
I could try to pull it up.
He missed a lot of games.
Zion
But
is
not
missing
as
like
many as Zion.
entire seasons.
Yeah, not as many as Zion.
And Embiid missed his entire first year, and I want to say the majority of second. Maybe
Yeah, I think he missed his first 2 seasons.
I think that's a legitimate comparison because of how much he missed, and obviously Embiid has turned into a monster. Outside of that, I don't think it's common to have reoccurring injury problems and then not continue to have that happen.
It can happen. Most cases, when it happens, the player ends up being a bust because they just don't last and they just fade out when you get injured that much early in your career. Because those injuries don't go away. They just, you know what I'm saying?
They do. They do. That's why it's an injury, not a disability. It goes away. You heal from it. He'll be back on the floor. He'll be fine. It's a hamstring.
Your knees and legs and shit deteriorate every time you're injured. That shit like that. So they're not gonna be better than they was before.
Talking about a 22, 23-year-old guy, he'll be fine in that regard. Will he have other injuries? Probably so. Maybe so. But he just has to, understand his body and stuff like that, and this is all part of his development and kind of working through it. But again, he's got to find a way to stay on the floor. That's got to be part or the biggest part of his career arc or path, of course, is just finding a way to stay on the floor because he's proven that when he's on the floor or what he can do. So it's just about the consistency there. If he can find a way to play, 60 games per season, I don't think that would be an issue. But you got to get to that mark.
Do you have any other examples? You said there was a lot of guys. I gotta ask you that.
Those are my two.
That's not a lot.
And Curry.
Yeah, those are my two.
It's not a lot.
That can I think of like superstar status type of players.
Curry missed 40 games his first year and just under 20 in his second and his third in the majority of the fourth season. He played 5 games in his fourth season.
Yeah, but see, he didn't play a lot early on. People really thought that Steph Curry was like they were out on him. So I'm just saying we've seen whenever you've seen a guy that can play this level of dominance, it's just like, all right, if we do get a full season out of you, you probably could win a championship, but you just got to get there. So we'll see what happens.
That's the issue. Well, speaking of those guys, Steph Curry, KD, and Zion, since they are all hurt, Embiid, Markkanen, and Ja Morant are now starting an All-Star game.
Nice. Guys who should have been there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on that. I think.
Yeah, I really don't care about the All-Star. I want to watch it, but I don't care about who's named as starter, who's left off the list. It is what it is. I can understand why they would be upset, but to me, as a fan, it just doesn't
When
matter.
is the All-Star game?
It's usually like mid-February, I believe.
Yeah, like 2 more weeks. Might be a week or so.
Got to be coming up relatively soon.
Not that far off. It's usually close to Valentine's Day.
The other big trades, though, there was more than that.
It's a lot.
Big ones, though?
You want to go ahead and pause?
All right, we forgot. We forgot Carl had to go a little early today, so we're going to continue on with NBA trades.
Yes, indeed.
The other big trade.
Send Westbrook to the Jazz.
Lakers got, what's Beasley's first name?
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and D'Angelo Russell.
And they got Mo Bamba. They traded Patrick Beverly to that one part of the Rush trade, but traded Patrick Beverly for Mo Bamba.
Beverly stays expendable everywhere he goes.
And they got D'Angelo Russell. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Russell was the comeback. The Wolves got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what
did they get again? I don't even
thought
remember.
It was hilarious with because Pat Bev and D'Angelo played together in Minnesota. Yep. He was like, "Oh, the bro was back," and then they shipped him off. I was like, "Damn."
Yep.
You didn't even get to play with him again.
And then did you see the graphic where he was talking about like Woj was he said something like Woj must be in the gym. He's working Shams this year. And then they had the graphic of Shams breaking the news that Beverly was traded. Yeah. I was like, damn, that's tough. Just called him out for not having the breaking news.
That's tough. What can you do?
But that deal was crazy. I don't understand why anybody involved made the deal other than the Lakers.
Yeah.
To me, it looked like they got the 3 best. Russell's a better player than those other 2 guys, but with his contract and stuff, I thought they got the 3 best pieces in the deal, and they gave up a late draft pick and Russell.
They did.
I don't understand what the hell the T-Wolves are doing letting D'Angelo go. Like, they're not going to win a championship this year, but he's legit.
I heard there was a little tension, a little beef with Russell, and I heard Russell. I'm not Russell. What is it? Yeah, D'Angelo was beefing with Rudy Gay. Who did I hear that from?
Rudy Gay or Gobert?
Gobert, excuse me.
Yeah.
Did you say that? Somebody told me that. I can't remember who it was, but apparently they had like a little beef. They had a beef, like a real beef. It was not rocking with each other, like on some shit like he won't even try to pass him the ball type shit.
Gotcha.
So they had to move him up out of there somehow, some way.
I mean, look, I've heard Gobert's name mentioned multiple times with different players that don't get along with him. Yeah. He must be
I think he
little prickly motherfucker.
He probably think he more than what he really is, and he got them defensive player of the years. He probably think he the guy. He probably think he Giannis or something. It's like you not Giannis, bro. Like
it doesn't make sense for somebody that can play defense as good as he does and rebound as well as he does, and be that tall to be a 0 on offense.
No buckets.
He gets
no buckets. Just in the way, just big and in the way.
But D'Angelo's a free agent at the end of the year as well.
Yeah.
So I've already been, there's constant rumors about who the Lakers are going to get, but there's rumors out there that they take him on to finish out this season, let him walk in free agency, and then they're in the running for a big free agent point guard next year.
As they
possibly
always
Kyrie.
do. As they always do. That would be crazy, but
that would be crazy.
That's what the Lakers do. Like I said, I'm glad Word ain't here, but he always make the argument, you got to build up to the draft. Not the Lakers. The Lakers gonna get the guys that they want. They just gotta make the right trades. They gonna get the guys to fill positions. Like they're never gonna be as bad to get a great high draft pick. They're always gonna be in the middle of the pack. So, and they're in LA. So they're
their destination. They're the team that everybody in the league wouldn't mind playing for.
Yeah.
So you can always sign somebody.
They'll be fine.
I was excited about the KD trade just because I was worried that once D'Angelo went over to the Lakers, the West doesn't have that dominant team like we've been talking about. I was terrified that the Lakers are going to make a run and be one of the top teams in the league, and I don't have that concern anymore with KD back.
Yeah, shit got a little thick. They said all this shit started because Ja Morant said he was fine in the West. Now the West is fucking heavy again.
And they've been killing him. They had a terrible run after he said that.
Yeah.
I saw some quote from him today kind of doubling down on it, though. He's like, I don't care. My confidence is never going to change. I'm still fine in the West.
As you should expect. He don't respond like that.
Of course.
He ain't going to back off of it now.
Nah, not Ja.
Hey, the West, everybody going to the West. Carry your ass to the West. I ain't mad about it. Get your ass out of here.
I figured you love the Brooklyn blow up.
Ass out of here. I mean, we swept them last year, so it wasn't like we was feeling that much stress about having them there. But the fact that they gone, hey, that's one more team we ain't really got to worry about that much.
Better gone than not.
Yeah, get them out of there.
And it's kind of back. It's the same discussion we always have, but like Philly, I lost all confidence in them when they went and played y'all, and you were down like 3 starters and beat them. It's like, yo, if you can't beat the Celtics with the team that they had that game,
right,
there's no chance you're gonna get them in the playoffs.
It's gonna be tough, man. We got too many guys, and them boys, Hauser. Beast. He a fucking beast. That new guy we just picked up in the trade, I can't remember his name right now. Malkin, something like big, tall, white boy center that can shoot.
Yeah. I don't know his game at all, but I did see that you guys had taken
just another shooter that can step out there and hit a 3.
How long is Jaylen Brown out for? I saw that play. It looked kind of nasty.
They said they was going to evaluate in like another week or something, but he broke something, so he going to come back with a mask or something when he come back and play. But
fractured his face.
Freak accident. They interviewed Tatum about it, and he said, I feel super bad about this freak accident play. I probably have to buy him a car or something, or at least pay for his mask or something like that.
No big deal.
Because that's just gotta hurt when it's your own teammate. But hopefully it'll be all right. I don't think it's gonna be that long. He'll probably be like a couple weeks or something. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Masked up. Get some black mask Jalen out here. I think they banned the black mask after Ramon War.
Oh, really?
I think they banned it. It got to be clear now.
That's stupid. Who cares? Either way.
Well, yeah. That's the NBA right now. Oh, shit. Well, we forgot to talk about Braun. Breaking the scoring title last week.
I actually watched the first half of that game. I didn't end up watching later on and even seeing all the stuff that happened afterwards.
Okay.
I hate LeBron, but I will say just watching that game, it was mad exciting.
Yeah, I watched
every time he touched the ball, like seeing the whole crowd just get like the whole temperature of the room went through the roof. Like that was really dope.
And when you see he was within 2 points, everybody in the arena was stood up.
Yeah.
Waited for it. I think it happened like 10 seconds left in the third, so he stopped the whole game, let him have a little speech and all that shit. It was cool. It was a good moment. It was good to see, but it was sour to me because they lost
to the
OKC. A game they needed to win, and they was making a big deal about AD on the sideline. He was like moping around the whole game, and they thought he was like hating on LeBron's moment. But in the interview, he was like, "Yeah, I was pissed off because we fucking losing the game." Like,
oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, he was like, "Dog, like we need to get everywhere we can get in the West to make the fucking playoffs, and we losing niggas." So he said he's pissed off about that. But of course, it looked bad because you did it on LeBron's game-breaking day.
It looked
he moping around
it looked
and shit.
So bad,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, he looked.
I saw like a few days afterwards where he had said something like, "Yo, me and LeBron are brothers. Like, if you think that was anything serious," so I believed him. I don't think there's like any beef there, but it looked so bad.
It's just a bad look.
Sitting there,
you
like
moping.
Forget even just sitting down. Like I could have been like, "Yo, maybe he's tired or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe he just came off the court." But like, no claps or nothing. I'm like, you got to cheer for your boy.
Like, wasn't even trying to see. He was just sitting over there, just looking in the space. I was like, "Damn, that's not a good look, bro."
That was wild.
But yeah, that and a fun fact is every milestone scoring game that LeBron has had in his career, they lost the game.
Really?
It's a real fact. I can't remember all the specific stats, but it was like when he got to 20,000, when he got to 25 and 30.
That's wild.
Every milestone, that game that he broke the milestone, they lost the game.
That's
for every
crazy.
team he was on. I was like, see, that's a perfect visual of looking at why the comparison of LeBron and Jordan or Kobe is different. Cause yeah, Kobe's last game, he dropped 60, but he won't drop in 60 just to drop 60. He was trying to win the fucking game. Yep. That was the main goal. I'm trying to win. Fuck if I get 60 points in this last game or not. I'm not ending my career off with a L.
Yep.
Like the whole goal is still to win.
I agree completely.
So that kind of like made me feel like it was odd. Like, yeah, I'm celebrating, but y'all took another L in this streak y'all having right now. But
they gave up like 140.
Yeah, it wasn't
to OKC, bro. That can't happen. That can't happen.
It wasn't a good look, but you know, shout out to Bron.
God, that feels like forever ago. I forgot that was last week.
Yeah, a lot of shit happened in the NBA. So I kind of got dimmed a little bit, but it was cool to see. You broke that shit.
I saw some kind of report about the Heat had a trade in place to trade Lowry to the Clippers.
I heard about that.
And Pat Riley
people trying to get Lowry for real. He having some issues down there right now.
I don't understand why you would want him. I was talking to Jamie about this. He's owed something like $30 million next year.
That's a lot of money.
And his numbers are on heavy decline. Like he's not the same dude he used to be. I'm not saying he's done, but like I don't know why you would want to trade for him.
But for the Clippers specifically, I think they need a point guard. I think they just traded Reggie Jackson or whatever.
The Hornets.
And they got who did they get? They got Eric Gordon. I forgot. I think they got some type of point guard.
I thought they had got a point guard too, and I can't think of who it is neither.
It was, but they needed a point guard. Like PG has been running point most of the season.
Yeah,
he's been their point pretty much.
He can do it, but like
you don't want PJ being your point. You want your PG to be on the wing and let a point guard like Kyle Lowry. I think that would fit well with what they got going on. Of course, he won a championship with Kawhi with the Raptors and shit, so that chemistry is there. So I think it would make sense for them. I don't think many teams should need a Kyle Lowry, but for them specifically, they needed a point guard, and Kyle Lowry is the best fit for that. Somebody's not need a lot of shots that can facilitate the ball and run offense.
That does make sense.
So for them, it makes sense. I don't think a lot of teams should make that move unless you in dear need of a point guard.
Where do you think Westbrook's going to end up? They're still kind of trying to figure out if they're going to buy him out or not. I had heard that he said he was down to stay if they wanted to keep him.
I'm sure he is. He ain't really got too many options to buck on none at this point.
Right.
I was looking at this when he signed his 5-year, $205 million extension with Thunder in 2017, which was the largest contract at that point. In those 5 years, year 1, he played for the Thunder after he signed it. Year 2, they traded him to the Rockets. Year 3 with the Wizards. Year 4 with the Lakers. And now year 5 with the Jazz. So since he signed that contract, every year of the contract he's been with a different team.
That's crazy, man. That's gotta suck. Like just as a person.
Yeah.
Just like I gotta pick up and move to a whole other place again for a year, and then it's gonna happen again.
All over the place. I mean, all the teams was in the West, well, except for the Wizards. That was the only team on the East. But it's sad. Y'all know, I fuck with Russ. Russ is my guy, and I feel like he never really gets the full appreciation as a player that he should. And this just makes it look even worse with you being moved around every year to a new team.
Yeah.
It's not a good look for you, but he's in the latter years of his career. Still think he's a legit player in this league. I don't think he should go nowhere. I don't think he should be out the league. But it just adds more to like his dominance in those years what he was doing with them triple doubles. Like he literally made triple doubles seem like an easy thing to get.
Definitely.
Because he got so much, like it made you, he almost depreciated his own shit that he was doing because he did it so fucking much. And then the people, I don't think nobody really appreciates it now. But averaging a triple double for 4 or 5 seasons?
Yeah, I think it's 4 total.
MVP.
It was at least 2 or 3 in a row.
It's like, dog, like, you can't shit on that man. He's one of them ones. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's a Hall of Famer by far. Like, it is what it is.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
His shooting is always an issue. Turnovers, this, that, and the third. But I don't think he's ever going to get a real fair shot anymore in his career.
Nah, I don't either. I don't think he's done yet. I think he'll play for like a couple more years, like not even anytime soon. But I am interested to see where he goes. I had heard that the Clippers, Heat, and somebody else was interested in signing him if he does get bought out.
Yeah.
And the Heat seemed to me like they would make the most sense because I feel like every time I watch them play, they can't score enough. So, like, he can get buckets.
Yeah. CPG had an interview and he was basically had a little tampering moment. He was trying to Russ, come on, Russ. Like, he threw that in the interview. I was like, that's his guy. They played together at OKC. So I get it. Again, they need a point guard. I feel like he would fit right into what they do.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah. I'm not sure if he does because I would want that Kyle Lowry guy. That's just going to pass. Like, I just want you setting up Kawhi and PG. Norman Powell can get buckets. Like they got a lot of guys on the team that can score. I'd rather have the pass first guy.
Sure.
But I mean, if your next best option is a guy that they just traded for and we can't even think of what his name was, maybe Westbrook should be there.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know why they would get rid of Wall if they didn't have a backup plan yet. I understand like he's not the same John Wall, but like he is a point guard.
He's legit, but he been playing less than Kawhi been playing. It's kind of wild to think. Like, he hasn't been
like just being out.
Yeah, he's been out a lot this season, like in and out the lineup. So, which has been the Clippers' issue all season. All their guys have been in and out the lineup, but Kawhi and PG have been playing way more consistently in the last month and a half or so.
Yeah, they seem to be almost back to normal. Really.
Yeah, they back to their norm. I don't think John Wall had got to that point where he was playing consistently. So, I guess I get the move they would have to make, but I don't know. Didn't see much of John Wall to even make a thought on how he would be.
I don't watch the Clippers.
Right.
Besides being West Coast, they're just not a team I care about watching. Because they usually got somebody out.
Right.
I was like, I'm not going to tune into this game and Kawhi and PG are not playing them. But I still think if once it gets playoff time, they'll be a dangerous team you don't exactly want to see.
For sure.
I don't think they're going to knock the top seed out, but.
Got a deep squad. Really deep squad. What can you do?
One other NBA story I saw was, Scottie Pippen Jr. plays for the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
That's crazy that Beasley comes over there. I don't remember the full story. I know he
used to date his mom's.
Yeah. Wasn't there something crazy, though, that happened?
I can't remember what was crazy, to be honest with you. I just thought it was because
I feel like he was like, I think it was Beasley that was like, out in pictures with her while he was still married. Oh. Does that ring a bell? I could be wrong about
I don't know.
But I thought it was kind of messy. I'm sure that's true too. But just it is wild just to be teammates with somebody that was dating your mom.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what you do. I thought Pippen might be gone. Like once they made that move, like he's not a guy. He's probably their 12th man or something.
Yeah,
we got to just let you go,
don't
just
play
for
much
team's sake.
Yeah, because there's gonna be some type of issue there. You would definitely think so.
Maybe they got to duke it out the first night that he gets there. I'm like, all right, let's move on.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, wild trades, man.
For sure.
Rest of the season's gonna be nuts.
I'm excited for NBA the rest of the way. I've been getting more involved later on anyway, but now the football's done, it's like it's NBA season.
Yep, got to lock in now. It's going down.
Any other sports, or I don't have any music stuff. Do you have any music related anything?
Music related. Still ain't shit dropping like that. So I ain't really got no like new music. I think I've been liking this new Shy Glizzy album. I know you don't really fuck with Shy Glizzy. Cash Doll put out Against the Grill with Drama. Detroit. Yeah.
Oh well.
That shit pretty decent rap tracks on there, but nothing crazy drop. Did you ever did we talk about that Lil Yachty album?
I don't think we did talk about it on the pod. That was something I listened to.
Did you check it out?
Yeah, I had heard about it because I would never go look for Yachty.
Right.
But I had heard that it was super weird, and I basically listened through it once, or maybe 1.5 times through the whole way.
It's different.
Yeah, it's not anything I'm dying to go listen to.
Right.
But I thought what he would it was super experimental. He's clearly like trying some weird, funky beats and doing his best version of singing that he can possibly do. He can't sing at all, but some of the songs sounded kind of cool.
Some of the vibes on there was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. He did that.
I had heard him say something about really wanting to be taken more seriously as an artist, like a creative artist.
That's good.
So I respect that. If he's trying to branch out, and I know he didn't sell shit off of that album. It was crazy low.
He has bad numbers?
What's that?
For the album, he did bad numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was super tiny. I don't even know if people know about it. I don't have the numbers exactly.
I thought he did well. I see a lot of good feedback. Maybe it's just the feedback was good. Maybe the sales one didn't match up.
Yeah, I think it's his peers noticing that he's trying to elevate his creativity. Okay. I think they gave him a lot of respect for it, but you got to consider his fan base.
Right.
I'm sure they didn't love that.
Right, yeah. They won't try to come into that. So it's twisting your whole lane up.
Yeah.
Which I ain't mad at. I think Lil Yachty is a lot more talented of an artist than people give it to him because he did a lot of kiddie type shit when he came out, which I get, but he's written a lot of hit records for people. He's done a lot of music and collabs with people. And so he obviously has a talent for what he's doing.
Yeah.
With him stepping out into this lane. So maybe he's just trying to, like you said, get out of that box that people had probably put him in where he put himself in and expand a little bit. So I ain't mad at it. I like artists try to, switch shit up, take a risk. Yeah. So to speak.
I feel like it's kind of like a multi-step process where he puts that out and gets respect from other peers that are you actually do have some dope creative talent and stuff.
Yeah.
And then over the next year or so, some of those guys do work with him.
Exactly.
And then it actually becomes a little bit better music than what this album was.
Yeah.
So I think he seems to have more potential than I ever thought he would. His voice is so bad to me. Even just listening to him talk, I hate his voice.
Right.
So I don't know if I'll ever be a huge fan of his music, but I respect the direction.
Yeah. Everything ain't for everybody.
For sure.
But shout out to him, switching it up.
I found one random song that had just came out February 10th. It's the new St. John single. You Laughed at Me, it's called.
I listened to that.
He still puts out, every time he puts something out, I'm like, yo, that's that St. John I love. It doesn't seem like he's put out a ton of music. I did like it, yeah.
I thought it was decent. It's I don't know. I ain't getting the same feel from him off them first two projects. I feel like the singles he's been putting out, of course he ain't been putting out a whole lot of music, but I don't know. It just ain't hitting me the same. I was expecting him at this point to be one of the biggest artists in the game.
I did too.
With how he was building up and the music he was making, I was like, oh yeah, he about to be out of here. He started dipping into EDM and all the different type of genres a little bit, and then I think he kind of chilled for a little bit.
I agree. No, I think the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they were as good as the original early music. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about most people. You kind of fall in love with that early album or whatever.
Right.
But I did think he was going to end up being a lot more popular than he ever was.
Yeah.
And I get kind of the vibe
fucking you take advantage of the moment. 'Cause I feel like the buzz was building up for him. And I think he just kind of like chilled once the buzz got to his height.
I agree. I feel like he kind of had. I mean, and I've gotten this like persona from him in interviews that I've heard with him.
Did you see that I Am Athlete interview he did with that?
I didn't. I watched a bunch of clips, but I didn't see. I saw some really cool clips of him talking about how many streams and that kind of thing.
That was
I need to check that
interview.
out.
Really good interview.
But I think he's like I don't mean this in a bad way, but I think he's like so confident in who he is that he is not interested in playing like I want to get popular game.
Yeah.
Like he's got a little bit of I'm too cool for school kind of thing. And I think it's dope for him, but I think it will prevent him from being like superstar status.
You got to take advantage of the moments.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know the reason, but I think when he had that Roses record go crazy and then he had all these different renditions of it.
That was the one.
I get it. When you're a new artist and you catch one like that went crazy, you want to ride that wave as long as you can before you put out some more music. I feel like he might have rode that wave a little too long.
Well,
to the point where he ain't even put nothing out.
I agree with you. And then talk about riding the wave too long. My big problem when he put out the second project was there was at least two, I want to say 3 songs that were just remixes of the first album. And I'm like, yo, you're a creative dude. How you going to give us 12 songs and 3 of them are newer versions of the same shit from before? I didn't like that at all.
That's exactly what he did.
I still listen to the first album. That's the one I go back to.
First one, and I like the second one too. The first
it's got some good songs.
The first 2 was fire.
It pissed me off though they did that.
He should have took advantage of the moment. You can't let the moments pass like that because people will forget about you real quick.
That's right. I agree.
Real quick.
Well, anything else you want to mention?
I'm trying to think some little fun topics that happen. Brett Favre is suing Shannon Sharp and a few other people.
And McAfee.
For defamation.
I saw that.
That's wild, right?
I saw it on McAfee because McAfee responded live, of course. And, he's saying hilarious stuff about telling the story. And he's like, if you want to contact my attorneys, I don't have any. So feel free. Like, he was just shooting from the hip, being a wild boy. Has Shannon responded? I haven't seen
Shannon
his.
said nothing about it at all.
Yeah, they wanted McAfee to take down every video on YouTube where he's mentioned Brett Favre's name at all. He was like, no.
The nerve of Brett Favre. This is so wild. You gonna sue them for defamation? This is public information.
Right.
You're an NFL Hall of Famer. People gonna talk about it.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? Like,
are you suing all of the ESPN?
Yeah, like, what do you mean? You think nobody gonna say nothing? And I think for the most part, a lot of people didn't talk about it. It was only a handful of people that really said something on their shows about it. So he tripping. He tripping. You being extra. I get you trying to defend yourself and stuff, but this is public information, dog. These people are on talk shows. They're gonna talk about shit that happens.
Yeah, you're not getting anywhere with this. I don't see the point. Speaking of crazy Packers quarterbacks, you see Rodgers talking about his 4-day
little retreat
silence thing.
Yeah, I did see about
darkness room or something.
For 4 days.
I thought he was joking.
Dead ass.
When I started to hear about it, I was like, "Oh, this sounds like him being sarcastic."
No, he did something like that last year, though.
I know he's done like the ayahuasca trips and stuff, and like some psychedelic trippy stuff. I kind of dig that, but. He was like, nah, I'm sitting in a room by myself in the dark with nothing for 4 days. I don't
cleanse.
I don't know about that, bro. That's
he'll make a decision if he's gonna retire or not.
I think he might be done.
He's like getting into his like Kyrie wave like late in his career. Like he's then they going down that path, finding himself and all this. This is just cool, but now you kind of like it's giving me no kind of coincidental. Give me like Brett Favre vibes. Like I feel you kind of like trying to hold the Packers as long as you fucking can.
Yeah.
Every off season, not knowing what you're gonna do or not. And I think he's just using that shit to like throw people off and shit. But I don't know what the fuck he gonna do. He's saying he might go into the Jets. The Jets are acquiring and trying to get him or whatever. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know.
I don't think anybody knows. I don't think he knows.
Yeah.
So it's not even worth speculating.
I don't even know if he playing.
Weird dude.
Definitely weird. Definitely weird. We ain't like I said, there ain't too much to talk about that. The regular season awards came out, NFL.
I didn't even hear about them. I mean, I know Mahomes won the MVP, but I don't even know how I found that out. What are the other wins?
I couldn't find what I was trying to remember what it was. I think Justin Jefferson won Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay, good.
2 Jet players won Offensive Rookie and Offensive Defensive
Wilson.
Rookie. Both, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Both 2 Jets
And
players
who's the
won that
defender?
shit. Bosa. Bosa won it. And you know what's crazy?
Who is Bosa?
Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, I thought you said the Jets won the Rookie Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, they did. The rookie, Sauce Walker.
Oh, okay. Duh. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Sauce did.
Okay, yeah, Bosa makes sense.
Yeah, Bosa got Defensive Player of the Year. What I thought was wild is Micah Parsons didn't get any first place votes.
Really?
Not a one.
Did Reddick?
Bosa got 46, Reddick got 2, Quinn Williams got 1, and Chris Jones got 1.
Oh, that's kind of
Micah
wild.
didn't get any.
That is kind of wild.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't understand that, but I don't get that.
I think Reddick had a lot better case than he probably got as far as voting is concerned. But that is wild for Parsons not to get any.
Not a 1. Thought that was wild, but hey, what can you say?
Do you have a sample?
I don't think I do.
I got one. It's not a great one, but
Yeah,
I got
could do
one.
yours.
We got a couple more minutes. If you had anything else you want to say, then we only got one sample, but we're close to the end here.
What else happened? First time Hall of Fame eligible players for 2024. Andrew Luck, Antonio Gates, Julius Peppers, Eric Berry, Jamal Charles, and Brandon Marshall. Shout out B. Marsh.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's what's fire.
Yeah, good for him. Hopefully he
pretty
gets in. Doubt he gets in on the first try.
Receivers usually don't,
Yeah.
but it would be tight to see him getting in there.
Yeah,
He deserves it.
I'm down. I think so too. I hear they keep doing my man Steve Smith dirty. It sounds like he may not get in, but
Yeah, it seems like he seems like one of those guys that's give you like the T.O. vibes just because of his character and that shit he says.
loudmouth, that's for sure.
Yeah, so that might keep him out a little bit, but he definitely deserved to be in there.
Go Peppers. I like that.
Julius Peppers. We were just talking about last week. People still dropping rap lines with Julius Peppers.
I don't know. Bring it back if he wins Hall of Fame. We'll
Oh,
start
you
hearing
damn
some
right. You damn right. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, I got a Kanye thing. Well, it's kind of Kanye related. Well, it is Kanye related.
What's that?
Adidas are down 1.3 billion since dropping Kanye.
Oh, wow.
They in a dark place.
Goodness gracious.
Talk about they saying it's in serious. Adidas is saying they're in serious financial pinch, and they're blaming the buying directly on his decision to split with Kanye. So y'all gonna blame the guys the reason why y'all was selling shoes as to why y'all not selling shoes. When y'all was selling shoes for 40, 50 years before.
Got to play it both ways.
It's weird, but it's like it's y'all fault. Y'all could have kept them. Like, what
Yeah,
we
that's
doing?
wild. I hadn't heard that at all.
So
Billy.
kind of hot take, which ain't really a hot take. I heard Maul had his take before, but this made me think, Adidas might be bringing Ye back this year. I think they about to be bringing them back. They're gonna run that shit back.
He's going silent, so it like opens the opportunity.
I would not be surprised if Adidas brings Ye back.
That would be fun. That would be hilarious.
Then he can really pop his shit. I told y'all,
Yeah, then he's
fucking need me.
God, then you give him all the leverage.
Oh man, it's sad, but hey, that money talks. But that $1.3 billion hit in the last couple months,
That's crazy.
that's a crazy hit because you moved the guy out the way. But it also says how much he was helping y'all too.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that was that big.